There are bridges that cross rivers, and then there are bridges that hold a peninsula together. The Portage Lake Lift Bridge does exactly that. Known officially as the Houghton-Hancock Bridge, it is the only land-based link between the northern and southern halves of Michigan's Keweenaw Peninsula. Without it, an entire region is severed. With it, two cities breathe as one. The Keweenaw Peninsula juts into the cold waters of Lake Superior like a finger pointing northwest. Portage Lake cuts across it, not a lake in the traditional sense, but a navigable waterway connecting the peninsula's interior to Lake Superior itself. Ships moved through here, commerce depended on it, and for decades, the crossing that stitched the two sides together was a swing bridge, a narrow, aging structure that creaked under the weight of modern demands. The original crossing was a wooden swing bridge, built in 1875. 3 local men raised $47,000 in stocks to make it happen. It was a toll bridge, a community investment, a modest answer to a pressing need. By 1895, wood gave way to steel when the King Bridge Company erected a new swing bridge across the same channel, but steel was no guarantee of safety. In 1905, a ship called the Northern Wave collided with the bridge, damaging the swinging center section. It was repaired. In 1920, another vessel came dangerously close. Only a dropped anchor snagged on the canal floor and saved the bridge from a second disaster. By the late 1950s, the old swing bridge was no longer just aging. It had become a menace. Federal authorities said so plainly. Traffic through the Keweenaw waterway had grown too dense, the bridge too narrow, its swing too slow and too dangerous. A new solution was needed, something ambitious, something permanent. In 1959, the answer arrived. At a cost of $11 to $13 million, a new structure rose over Portage Lake. The Al Johnson Construction Company served as general contractor. The American Bridge Company built the superstructure. Bethlehem Steel supplied the structural steel. The design came from Hazlitt and Erdahl of Chicago, and it was unlike almost anything else in the world. What they built was a double-decked vertical lift bridge. The numbers alone command attention. More than 35,000 tons of concrete, 7,000 tons of steel, a lift span capable of rising from just 4 feet of clearance above the water to a full 100 feet, enough for large ships to pass beneath without hesitation. It is, to this day, the world's heaviest and widest double-decked vertical lift bridge. That title has never changed hands. The engineering was layered with ingenuity. Both decks carried roadways. The lower deck had rails embedded in its surface, allowing trains to cross. The design meant the span could be raised to a middle position, enough clearance for small and medium vessels, without stopping road traffic above. Only for large ships would the full lift be required. It was a bridge that could serve multiple purposes at once, adjusting to the world around it. Rail service ended in 1982. The lowest position, once essential for trains, became largely ceremonial, used now only for maintenance. And in winter, when the lake freezes solid and the bridge is lowered to let snowmobiles cross on the lower deck. In summer, the bridge holds its middle position, a patient sentinel over the waterway, rising when the ships demand it. U.S. Highway 41 and M26 both cross this bridge. As they approach from the south, they form a tangle of intersections the locals call the Upper Loop, a name that carries in it the warmth of a community that has made peace with its geography, even laughed at it a little. Hancock and Houghton celebrate that peace every year. Bridgefest marks the anniversary of the bridge's opening, a reminder that infrastructure is not merely functional. It is the physical expression of a community's decision to stay connected, to remain whole. In June 2022, the bridge received formal recognition as a National Historic Civil Engineering Landmark. It was an acknowledgement long deserved. This was not just a crossing. It was a solution to a century of collision, inconvenience, and inadequacy, built by skilled hands, designed by careful minds, and still standing watch over the cold waters of Portage Lake. Some structures age into irrelevance. This one aged into something rarer, permanence. If you found this history worth knowing, subscribe for more stories of human ambition in steel, stone, and concrete.